Hi everyone.
Hi.
I'm Eleanor and Gertie. We're from the Roy Suitcase. And for you that didn't follow yesterday, yesterday we were busy with our hat boxes and we did some multi-layer stencils. I'm almost starting hers now, so I'll show you mine so far.
Weet jy wat ek vergeet?
Wat?
My kolletjies gemaak.
Oh, great, sit hom terug. So this is the little one I did yesterday, and then I did the double layer as well of the bigger peony. Hi Michelle. Right. Almost putting hers back. She forgot to make it with circles. Just to recap, your stencil, your multi-layer stencil, this one comes in 4 layers. So the first layer you put down, and then you start circling the little corners. So these are, hi Dawn, Koue Kempton Park, Koue Meyerton ook hoor. So you start circling your corners first with your number 1 stencil. And then you start painting, and then you just fit your next stencils over the little kolletjies. Marks. It's actually called registration marks. I'm just opening my phone so that I can read your messages. I just need to maybe put this thing on silent before we get calls while we are busy.
Is this right now?
Where's your number 2? Yeah. So fit it on your little marks. Bottom one needs to move a bit. There you go. And stick it on. Oops. Put it on.
Yes, I just...
Okay, can I hold it for you?
It's okay, go
So
on.
you just make sure your second layer fits exactly over those registration marks before you continue. Sorry, I see someone's typing there, but I cannot see there. So I'm just opening it up on my phone so that I can follow with you guys as well. Or I just need to put the sound down. There we go.
How's this one?
Hi Odette, hi Nunu. Yes, Urina, we're inside, we're in the painting room. Hello Trudy, hello Lorraine. Okay, so it must just be playing now. It's making all kinds of little round marks. So today what I want to do is I want to show you how to add shadow into your multi-layer should you want some more depth in your flower. I cannot see this.
Is it this color now?
It's standing still, yes. I don't know why. Just fix it for me. Thank you very much.
This color now?
Yes. I'm going to be using some Rococo Brown. Juliana Douglas, ja, julle is lekker naby die koue. So I've done my multi-layer stencil. This was a 4 layer. So you can see it actually looks, hi Lorena, I see you there. This actually looks much fuller than this one. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to add some dark shading into it. So I want to show you how I do this. So I've done my first layer was the Antoinette's Kiss, the dark one. Then my second layer was the Toulouse or Not Toulouse from Petite Rouge. That's the pink one. Now I'm going in with some brown and I'm just adding some shading. Hello Ronelle. So when I'm adding shading, remember that I need to use a brush that's going to be just as dry as my stencil brush. For today I'm just using a flat brush. I'm just dipping it in the brown. And then I'm wiping it on my rag. This rag has had better days. So that it's a dry brush. Is it now working? Let's see if it's working. Hi, Courtney. So now I take my stencil and my item. Let's just start here. So everywhere where there is the dark color, I'm going to start at the edge of the light pink and just drag down little dry brush streaks. So that's giving me my definition for my leaf. We are fine, thank you, Urina. So I'm going to be doing another piece here. And you don't need to put it in everywhere. Hi, Louise. We had some of this on a previous order left, so but it's now finished. We need to get some more. So I'm basically just shading right next to my light pink leaf petal. So that just gives me a little bit of a 3D dimension. Do you see what it does? It actually lifts up the pink leaf, the pink petal. Hello, Mari. So I'm just going to go around and continue doing this. I'm not sure if you guys can see from there, so let's move this way around. Yeah, this is too far. Sorry, we're battling to get the right place. We were so sorted out in the other area. In this area, we're really not very sorted. So I'm just going around the edge, the bottom edge of my light pink petal, using a dry brush and some Rococo brown, and just filling in some dry brushing. I'll show you again. So you see what I'm doing there? It gives it a bit of depth and dimension. And it's going to make it look like it is a 4-layer. So that's how you can actually take your 2-layer stencil and make it look like it's a 4 or 5 layer. So just by shading a little bit around the petals, I'm just going in with a brown color. And I'm just shading the edges a bit. How are you doing there, Mom?
I'm fine.
Mom is doing her 3rd layer now.
A few spots, but I will fix it afterwards.
Okay, she's doing the 4-layer peony on that side. She'll show you now. I'm just adding shading to the bottom of my petals. I just want to say, if we do miss your comments, I do go over it afterwards and then I catch up and I reply. So if I've missed anything, I will catch up. Are you going to show them your pretty flower?
Yes, I will. I'm just busy with the last one.
The yellow portion. So you can choose the colors that you want to work with on your layers. What is also a good idea is if you maybe want to end up with a light pink, start maybe with like the Antoinette's Kiss, which is like a burgundy color, and start adding your pink on each layer. So use your burgundy, add a little bit of pink, do your 2nd layer, and then at the 3rd layer just do. So then you've got that shading that is in. Hi Anita. So today I'm just adding shading on my 2-layer peony. I'm shading in with some Rococo brown from Petit Rouge. And you see I shade at the bottom of each petal. So the light pink being the petals. What are you looking for?
Yellow paint.
Yellow paint is right in front of you.
Thank you.
And there's a brush here you can
Let's try.
Dry it. So I'm using the Rococo Brown. I'm just going into my petals at the bottom edge of my petal, just adding some brown, just to shade it a bit in. What are you looking for?
I'm seeing what you're doing.
Is it painting?
Yes, it's pretty.
I think it's painting. So this is just so that your two stencils actually look alike. If you don't want to do this, I mean, you're welcome to leave it like this. This is just me being difficult. I like the bit of dark shading. It just gives it some dimension. So this was the 2-layer peony, the double peony, and this was the 4-layer peony, single peony. So I'm using a dry brush and some Rococo Brown from Petit Rouge.
Oopsie, I had a big spill here.
That's okay, let it dry. Let's show them.
Yeah.
Then we know how to fix it. Quick.
Oopsie, oopsie.
Alright, so this is typically what happens if you've got too much paint on your stencil. Then it bleeds underneath your stencil. Hi, Jackie. So we're going to wait that it dries, and then we're going to go in and touch it up. Just so that you know that if you get this, it's too much paint. You really need to use only a little, as if you're putting on blusher.
Yes, I'll have to touch up a few spots here.
But I've put the paint here, the big one. Where is that?
Here?
No, the parchment. There we go.
No, I'm talking about the dark color.
Oh, okay. Just the parchment's also somewhere. Oh, I'm standing on it.
Yes, I don't need that just yet. I'll do that after.
So everywhere where I've got a pink petal, I'm going towards the outer edge, just blending it in with a bit of a dry brush, so that it can give me a bit of dimension on my flower petals. Remember, this is a 2-layer peony, and we're using it with a 4-layer. So the 4-layer, this is the 4-layer, is looking nice and full. But the 2-layer, it needs a bit of dimension. So everywhere towards the end of each pink petal, I'm just adding some shading with a dry brush. Thank you, Judith. So how's your day been so far? Are you keeping warm? It's just suddenly gotten very cold. I see there's snow on the Lesotho mountains. So my friend Louise from Klokkolaan, if you're watching, keep warm. She's right next to that.
On Squinkies, Louise.
On Squinkies. So everywhere towards the outer edge of your petal, you go around using a dry brush. I'll try and show you like this. Using a dry brush, just doing the outer edge on the one side of your petal. So don't go and do it on this side and on that side. Then you're going to confuse the shading. Just do it on the outer edge of your petal. Are you okay, Amma?
Yes. I just see when I did the first lot, I missed a piece here being very fade, so I just want to touch up a bit.
Okay. And if you've got a flower like this, remember all the outside petals you'll catch with this. No questions so far? Today everybody is very quiet. They're sitting with their coffee and their pajamas, watching the video. So I've used a multi-layer stencil. This is the double 2-layer peony. And I'm now just doing the outside edges of the petals with the Rococo Brown, just giving it a bit of dimension. You see, it actually pops the flower. So this is just a plain flat brush that I'm using. It's a dry brush. It doesn't have a lot of paint on. I'm wiping it on my rag. So yeah. And then you just blend in all the browns. So I just want to show you. I've blended the outside of that one, and the two blends actually come together, and that creates your leaf. Thank you, Mari. So yeah, that's probably the most difficult part of this stencil. You don't need to do this. You can leave it as it is if you're happy with it. I just have a tendency to overcomplicate things, so I like to have a bit more of the dimension.
Okay.
The right now?
Yes.
And the yellow, you also need to fix with that colour.
Oopsie, yes, I forgot about that.
So I'm just doing the outside part of my petal. And that creates that 3D depth that you're looking for. So this is probably the worst work of the whole stencil, is just filling in the shadows. So you don't need to have a 16 million layer stencil in order to create this. I mean, here you've seen I've only used a 2-layer stencil, and I'm still getting the same type of effect that I had with my 4-layer. Just remember that shadow normally comes from one side. So don't go and circle your petals. Only use one side to give the shading. Who's saying something? Hi Maliki. Hi Lorna. We're just adding in some shadows on our multi-layer stenciling. This is a 2-layer stencil. This is how the color looked, and this is how it looks with adding in some of the brown shading. So it creates a bit more depth. It makes your flower pop a bit. This one we've used is a 4-layer. This is only a 2-layer, so I'm going around adding some shading with a dry brush and some brown.
Very successful here.
Just need to concentrate more. I just need to see if I've got all the places now. So these are hat boxes. Yesterday we've done the fabric appliques on them. These are the little lapis you see here. We've just put that on with the Petite Rouge lacquer on the bottom and over the top. So they stuck, they dry. And then we did multi-layer stenciling on the side. Something I do want to tell you is, if you are doing any foliage or leaves like this and you want to highlight it a bit more, remember not to use white. Rather use yellow, because that's a normal lighter shade of the green. So don't use white. Rather use some yellow if you are planning to lighten it up. Also, if you've got a very dark green color and you want a light green color, you can always just add some yellow to it, and that will lighten it up. I think at this time it's difficult for everyone because we're all running out of paint. So we try and make all these plans Because we don't know how long we're still going to be without paint.
We'll have to sneak to Eve.
Yeah, I've seen Eve, but Eve is so overflowed with orders at the moment. We are on a waiting list. So
Does that look all right now?
yes, I think you've done what you should have done.
Just that little piece.
I am wanting to show them what you've done.
I just fix up my boo-boo.
That's fine. So remember, it's handmade. You can always fix up boo-boos. That's where we are now with the shading. If I see it on the camera, it actually looks totally different to what I
In
can.
person.
Yeah, but I'm seeing yeah. So it's nice to see the reverse on the camera. Should I show them what you've done?
I just want to see what that color was, the very light one.
That is lapel. I've actually added some parchment to my lapel. Just to make it
Fix up this
lighter.
little yellow spot.
I'm just going to get this out here. So I'm adding in the shading with Rococo Brown from Petite Rouge. This is a 2-layer, multi-layer stencil. And I'm just adding a little bit of brown around the outside edge of the petals. This one here is a 4-layer, multi-layer stencil. So as you can see, I'm just adding a bit more depth. It already looks like it's a 3-layer something. Alright, can we show them yours? This is Alma's flower. You still need to touch it up behind the little holy. It's looking nice, eh?
Which little holy?
I'll show you now.
There. Yes, with a what?
With the parchment. There you go. Alright, so am I balancing okay? No, this bottle doesn't balance up. The bigger ones look fine. Alright, so we're back. So around the edges of the petals, the flower petals, I'm adding a little bit of dry brushing Rococo Brown. That is just so that my flower pops a bit. And then it gives it a bit of dimension. I'll show you now, coming closer again. We're also going to be doing the lid with the Chateau Glaze. So we are going to be doing that now. Thanks, Lynette. This one is the 2-layer double peony. And this one is the multi-layer 4-layer single peony. So maybe just adding in a little bit of shade towards the end. I'm using a very dry brush and I'm using Rococo Brown from Petite Rouge. And I'm just going towards one side of the petal, just creating some shadow and some dimension to the stencil, because it's only a 2-layer, where the other one is a 4-layer. So the moment you start adding the shadow part, it already makes it a 3-layer. So you don't need to do this. Please note, you don't need to do this. But I like the bit of a darker color around, just so that I've got some depth.
That's beautiful.
Are you going to continue with the flowers, or do you maybe want to do your lid another coat?
I've done the lid another coat already.
Okay, show them your lid.
When we came in. But I still think it needs another one.
Okay, but because it's on metal, it's straight on metal.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think just lift it up because they can't see. Just check there, you can see there. So we've done 2 coats. It's on metal.
You see, like inside there.
Yes, I would do
But
it
it
now.
dries.
But it dries.
Yes, it'll have to.
That's just a
If the sun is out, then it goes quickly.
Yes.
So are we doing flowers right around?
You make like you want. So if you want to make flowers right around, then you've got more.
Where's this?
They are all there. I just want to finish the shadow around the petals, and then I will give you another view of how it looks. So I'm just using the outside petal, and I'm only doing one side of the petal. I'm not doing both sides. You see that dark shading you see now? That is the Rococo brown that I've used on the multi-layer stencil. So just adding a bit
You
of
didn't
shadow.
do this one.
No, I did not. That's a double.
Is there also just 2 sides to it?
There's 2 stencils in the double. There's 4 stencils in the single.
Why have you just... Is this number 1?
The numbers are different. This one must be number 1.
So you made a boo-boo.
Yes, but I can fix my boo-boo. Alright, so, and I'm just going on this outside petal. Just paint on the one side of the petal. Don't go and draw a circle around it. You just need to do dry brushing on one side. That will give you the depth that you're looking for. I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to show you the glazing on the lid, so that I don't bore you too much today. I'm using Rococo brown from Petite Rouge, just to do a bit of dry brushing around the outer petal of each petal of the flower. That just gives us a bit of depth. Okay. So the question is, would you buy the box or wouldn't you? Does it look good enough to buy? That's what you should always ask yourself. If it looks good enough to buy, you've completed your mission. And remember, handmade is handmade. It's not manufacturing made. It's not assembly line made. It's handmade.
So there's only 2 to this. Must I use the dark color like that? And then just, or one of those
I would now flip it around. I'll use this. It's the bottom color. And maybe mix a little bit of the parchment and the lapel together for your lighter color.
But that is the lighter color.
No, this is the light color. So this one I'll mix with a little bit of parchment. So the first layer I'll apply that pink.
Okay.
And the second layer a mix of these. I would if I was you. So there you go. I think it's done. So now I'm going to show you what to do on the lid. What do you say? Does it look okay? Oh, there's one more thing I need to show you here. Just wash my brush.
Yes, your little.
Thank you. So what have you been up to? What have you been doing? Remember this week's challenge, Idanilla, is revamping your craft area, or if you've got it, if you're lucky enough to have if you're only working in a certain area in the house, that area. So choose something you want to remake there. Take some nice pictures and post it on our page. That is just so that we can share initiative and creativity amongst everyone. So this week's challenge is craft roof. So now I'm taking some yellow. I want to show you the shading of the leaf. Remember I told you if you want to highlight something on your leaf, rather use yellow than using white. So here we go. So this is my small little leaf. I still haven't painted this side, you see. So I want to highlight on this area. So you see what the yellow does. Now I'm going to do Stella. Now I'm going to do another shading with the white, and then you can see the difference. I hardly ever use my white. I rather use the parchment. So I like to use yellow because it's got a more of a natural feeling to it, where the white looks very fabricated. So I'm going to do a piece in white, and then you can see the difference. So what I'm saying is rather use a bit of yellow to shade on green than using white. So now I'm going to show you what it looks like. There's my yellow. What it looks like when I use white. I'll do a piece here too. So you see how stark that white looks. And that's one of the reasons why we shade with yellow on green, not with white. So maybe that's a tip for you. Maybe you feel differently about it. That's just something that I've learned from a Tannie in Sizerenak, Tannie Elma. So yeah, and it works very well. I'm just going to go over my bamboo now with the white there, and I'm going to close it off with the yellow. And you can decide where you want to put in dimensions on your leaf. Still working with the yellow. Okay. So that's the green and the yellow. Now I want to show you how to glaze the top of my box, the lid of my box. So this is the lid. It's actually quite heavy. It is done with the clay molds, the air dry clay molds. Remember I told you it will crack. It's perfect for putting in glaze in those cracks. So there is the picture. I haven't done everything on the side yet. I want to maybe add some pulls here. But we'll see how it turns out. Alright, so for this, well, yes.
If I want to mix the white with it.
Okay, then what you do is you take the lid.
Isn't much paint?
Yes, but there's enough. I've already pre-mixed, so by the way.
Oh, okay, then I'll come.
Alright, so we spoke about the glazes last week when I showed you on the table the black and the antique noir and the white glaze. So yeah, I'm going to go in with my favorite again. This is the Chateau. It's like a dark brown. No, I'm lying. This is a noir. I couldn't see. No, I'm right. I think I've got the wrong lid on it. Yeah, someone mixed my lids. Yes, there we go. That's the one. Dark brown. Like this. Goes with that. And close it down. And this is it. Alright, so now we're back on track. So I'm taking my glaze, and today I just want to work my glaze into these areas on the side. I don't want to go too much over my flower because I still want to paint my flowers type of true colors that I've been using. This lid, Judith, we did with the air drying clay and molds. So that's what we did. And then I stick them onto my lid while they are still wet. Same principle we applied with the tail. So remember when you're working glaze to have your...
Is that not too light?
No. I would actually go, put that second one over and do it just with the parchment, because it's picking up the paint from your brush. You need a dry rag, you need a round brush. You need your... Hi Janet. You need your glaze. I'm using the Chateau from Petit Rouge. I'm going to pop you up. I hope you guys can see. I'll come closer. So really just a little bit of glaze, and then I work it towards my edges, because I don't want to go over my flowers and my leaves. So just work it into the edge, all around the side. Might need some more glaze now. And I need my brush, of course, if I don't drop it. So hoping you guys can see working in the glaze. And then I'm going to take my rag and I'm going to start drying it. See, that's what I get. So that's what I'm going to then have for my age effect. So I'm just going to go around here working it into all the little edges and nooks and crannies, because I don't want to go over my flowers. Just want to work it into little crevices. It's looking like a world atlas now. So this is just going to give me that bit of antique feel to my clay and my box lid. And then if you've got areas where you've cracked, where the clay is cracked, because the clay does crack.
Yes, that looks much better, right?
Yes, nice. So I just take my little rag and I just go into my glaze and I just blend it together. Easy peasy. It does look a bit dirty now, but once you start painting your flowers, it's going to pop it out. Do you want to show them what you've done?
I would like you did with that other flower of yours, just put a little bit of that darker color into it now.
This is what Oma did with the 2-layer double peony. Hi Nancy. Hello Nicoline, you can catch us on the replay. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm showing you how to add glaze in on the lid of my box using the Chateau glaze from Petit Rouge. I'm just going around the edges, just applying the wet glaze. I'm trying not to go over my flowers because I still want to paint them. So I'm just going in with the glaze like that. See? It looks like a world atlas. Right, and then I take my dry rag and I just start blending it. to invite the middle piece to the party as well. So there we go. So I basically aged that inside space where I have no clay. Now I want to, Mama se blomme like mooi, says Stella. Now what I want to do is, remember I told you the clay makes cracks, and that's okay. So here's a good example. This is where I've actually attached pieces. So I want some sort of aging or decrepit feeling happening here. So I'm going to go in with my same glaze. Now if you like the antique one more, then you'll use the antique. I just prefer the aged towel. I like the color. So I'm going into all my little cracks on purpose this time. See? Going into all the cracks. Is it done? Oh, okay. I thought you're calling because it's done. See, it's running down there. It's okay. It's okay. Take your cloth and you start wiping it down. And if you feel it's not dark enough, you can always add more. But I'm actually starting to like this now. Just to give you a look like this. Now remember, I'm still planning to paint the flowers, so I can now go over all the flat pieces. Oh, let me show you down here. This was a mold we used from the Cuttlebug, eh? So it's a pressed mold. It's not a like the flower was. So I'm going to go over all these little musical notes, and because there's a lot of those, and just get some detail on there as well. Just trying to catch up that now one sees. Everybody's very quiet today.
Too busy concentrating on what we're doing.
Oh, is it the weather maybe? You guys normally talk a lot more. Is it because of the weather change? So I'm just going around my edging. And do it like so that you guys can see. So I'm trying to avoid the flowers so that I can still paint them my pretty colors that I want. So you can see now, I've applied it over the musical notes. Now you can actually see the notes. Do you see that? And then I'm just going to wipe it down. So I take my dry cloth, rag, and I just wipe it down. And you can decide how much you want to leave, or if you want to do it a second time. Like you see this side, it's looking a bit white. So I'm going to add a bit more there. Maybe just leave it for a moment. Now don't go putting on your glaze and go do shopping or go watch Netflix, because when you come back it will be dried and you can't work it then. You can maybe add a little bit of water and so, but you won't be able to blend it in nicely. So don't do it and walk away. Just be with it for a moment. And I don't dry immediately. I just normally give it some time just to set in before I actually wipe it down. Are you winning, Ma? You're so quiet as well. Are you guys winter and cold? Are you sitting in your pajamas?
I'm not happy about the winter part.
Today is National Superhero Day. I've posted it on the page. So, Lorraine, I think you said you were going to be Superwoman. I was going to be Batwoman. So, which superhero would you like to be for the day? Are you Catwoman? Which superwoman or which superhero are you for the day? And just don't go flying in the kitchen with a cape because you might get a couple of funny looks. I believe the restaurants will be opening on Monday for takeaways, well, for deliveries. So I wanted to know if you know of a place that actually could deliver us a cappuccino. Because I'm dying for one. There you go, that's what I've done so far. Yeah, you can see.
We'll have to ask Ruan to attend to that. I haven't seen Ruan's name.
So if you feel it's a bit dark, you can always just wipe it down again. So what do you think? How does it look? It's supposed to look old, 19-foot tag. So I'm going into all the areas where I've got that musical notes. It's like a flat stamp that I've used. And I'm just aging that in a bit. I guess you guys didn't even see that there's musical notes until I started aging it. This brush is, oh yeah. So remember, the challenge for the week is to do something fun and exciting in your craft room or your paint room. So remake something, take photos, post on our page so that we can share creativity amongst everyone. There's been a couple of awesome photos being put up, so really like that. Hi Adele. So we're doing some shading with the Petite Rouge Age Chateau Glaze. I'm doing a bit of a stamp in music notes, and I don't want to paint my flowers with this because I still want to give them a bit of a color. So this is what we've done so far. Dankie Stella. Dankie Nina. Nina sit like by out. And then I'm just wiping it with a dry rag. If you feel it's too dark at places, you can still wet your rag and just wipe it down. But if you come back tomorrow, you won't be able to do that. It's only once you start doing this musical note stamp more that you actually start seeing the detail of the stamp.
Yes.
So it will highlight detail quite a lot. Like there, you can't see that it's really anything. But the moment you add the glaze, you can start seeing the musical notes. That one, that's pretty, Mama. Mama, je maakt mooi. Alright, just to recap, we will continue doing our creative upliftment sessions until hopefully the end of the lockdown. It might not be so frequently anymore, but we will keep you posted and we will let you know upfront about that. So yeah, until the paint dries out, then we're going to start doing creative things with toilet paper and toilet rolls and stuff. So we're not going to drop you on lockdown, because I know there's a couple of people that won't be going back to work on level 4. So we will continuing doing this until you're all back to work, or until you all tell me to shut up. So there we go, I like that. So just to give you a bit of a view. Now if you feel like it's a bit dark, you want to add some of the brown. So maybe I should just do a little bit of the antique brown so that you guys can see the color difference. Let me do that.
I think that little flower thingy must be in a darker color there.
Okay. This is the color I've used now. This is the color I'm going to do now. See the color difference? This is the antique one. All over the shop. Right here. Just wipe this down. So this area here, where I haven't done anything yet, this is also musical notes. I'm going to do with the antique brown one. Just need to wipe your brush. Then dip it in the antique. And now you'll see the color difference. See, it's actually got a more of a brownish, light brown look. More like an antique brown. Nicolene, last time we got the boxes, they were 60 Rand a box. But I honestly don't know what the new prices will be and if there will be any boxes available. I can only find out once we are no longer inmates. So I will find out and let you know on that.
Like that.
I like that. Yes, I agree
It's
with
more
you.
noticeable.
Yeah, than the yellow.
Yes.
I'll show the people
Because
what
I
you've
went so light. There's your little thing. And all the dots will be sorted out in time.
Alright, so Mama's just completed her 4-layer lift. Wait, did we take it for you?
I caught that one.
Mama's just completed the 4-layer multi-layer peony, single peony. She changed the dots to a blackish brownish color because the yellow you couldn't see so much. This one here is a 2-layer double peony, and that was also a single 4-layer, just a bit different colors.
Now I can just do the leaves in between to see what more.
You might want to overlap your leaves now a bit, so some of them go behind the flower. And,
Yes.
Yeah. Just so that it links the
Flowers together.
So now. So here is the antique brown. That was the H towel. So I'm just going to be wiping the antique brown color now as well. Just make sure you've got a dry piece that doesn't have the other glaze on. And now I'm just going to pat. I actually like this color more on this box. And nothing stops you, like we did on the table, of mixing 2 colors together. That's the nice thing about the glaze. You get an antique look, mixing some of them as well. I would actually like to leave this a bit darker. Where did we put the green? The light green or the dark green? So there's the antique color. The peony stencils, the 4-layer starts in a 10 by 10 centimeter, and it comes up until a 20 by 20. And the double peony starts in this is the double peony. This one starts in a 15 by 15 centimeter and in a 30 by 30. They have been loaded on the website together with the mandala that we used on the table. So they have been loaded on the website last night. So you can go and have a look at it. If you are not able to get to a PC and you would rather go in on your phone, just send me a WhatsApp and I'll send you the link for the app, for the phone app, so that you go on the phone rather than on the internet. Because it is more designed for your phone than it is for a PC.
I think we got this minty in that small bottle.
No, we did not.
Shall I put these 2 together?
For what?
My leaf.
Where's the dark green? Here's the dark green. And the light blue. Oh, yes, that's what I've used. So I just want to dry this antique quickly so that you can actually have a look how the two colors look together. So there we go. This was the H Chateau. Yes, I am right. This was the H Chateau and this is the antique brown. So there you can see the difference. So it's up to you which one you like to use. So just to recap, we are going to be on tomorrow again at 2 o'clock if internet and weather permits. We will continue with our boxes because there's still a lot of things I want to show you that I want to do. And remember to submit your projects for your paint studio, your paint room or your craft area, even if it's just a corner in your living room, something that you've revamped or remade. Take a photo and post it on the page. That's just so that we can share creativity and inspiration amongst each other. And yeah, just share it before 5 o'clock on Friday. What else did I forget? Any other disclaimers? And that is it. Then we will see you tomorrow.
Have a nice evening.
Goodbye.
Bye.